Hi guys, γεια σας και καλώς ήρθατε to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're making Tiganopsomo. Tiganopsomo literally translates to fried bread. These are little fried pitas that are filled with whatever you want to fill them with. I'm filling them with cheese today because the cheese-filled Tiganopsomo can be served sweet or savory, and you'll see in the end what I mean. But you can fill this with a spinach pie filling, a meat filling, any of your favorite sweet fillings. It's totally up to you. And if you want more versions of this, let me know in the comment section down below and I will bring them to you. This is commonly made in Turkey and in Greece. I don't know who came up with it first. If you know, let me know in the comment section in a nice way without arguing with each other. This is not a competition. We share many dishes in common. That's the beautiful thing about being neighbors, right? Let's get started. Okay, so I'm using the homemade Phyllo recipe that I shared with you in my homemade Phyllo spanakopita. This is so easy to make. I tested it actually using yeast, which is common in Greece. Some people make this with a yeasted dough. And I also tested it with the plain pita, and I like the plain one much better. It's a little lighter and it's easier to pan fry too because it's not so fluffy. So I have 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. That's 500 grams if you're weighing it. A teaspoon of salt, a little teaspoon of vinegar, 1 cup of lukewarm water, and 2 tablespoons of really good quality olive oil. And you can do this in a big bowl with your hands, just knead it all together until a nice soft dough is formed. But if you have a stand mixer, go ahead and use that because it makes life a little bit easier. Knead it until everything comes together and the dough is nice and smooth. It takes about 3-4 minutes. So if your dough is a little bit on the crumbly, dry side, you could add 1 to 2 tablespoons of water. Try not to add too much because you don't want it to be sticky, right? All right, so once the dough comes together, just roll it into a log and cut it into 10 equal portions, or as equal as you can get them. And just roll each portion into a ball. And then you can place all of the balls of dough into a big bowl, cover it with either plastic wrap or a clean kitchen towel, and let the dough rest for about 30 minutes or up to 2 hours. You could also do this and just put the dough in the fridge without even cutting it into portions. Wrap the bowl in plastic or just put it in an airtight container and let it rest in your refrigerator overnight. The longer it rests, the easier it is going to be to roll out the dough, and it's just not going to break on you, but it all depends on how much time you have. I've made it where the dough has rested and in a hurry in like 30 minutes when I was testing recipes. The longer it rests, the better it is, but it's up to you. It comes out delicious either way. So now we're just going to move on. I'm going to clean up, wash everything, then we're going to move on to making the filling. Okay, this cheese filling is super simple. I have 300 grams or 8 ounces of cream cheese. You can use ricotta cheese instead, or any soft cheese that you love in here, and it's nice and soft. And then I have 200 grams or 7 ounces of feta cheese that I'm just going to crumble in here and then mix it together. I also like to add a cheese that melts easily, like melts to be a little stringy, like a mozzarella, or you can do like a cheddar if you want a little bit more sharpness to it. I am out of all of those types of cheeses, so I'm just leaving it plain, just like this. And it's still going to be delicious. And then I'm also out of mint. I really wanted to buy mint and I completely forgot. Mint would be really nice in here if you're keeping it. It goes sweet or savory. But if you're leaning more towards the savory side, you could put some oregano in here, a little bit of thyme, even rosemary. Whatever your favorite herb is, you can just put it in there. And if you're going for a little bit more savoriness, you can also add some black pepper, some crushed red pepper flakes. Sun-dried tomatoes finely chopped would be nice in this. Maybe some finely chopped roasted red peppers. Get creative. And to soften it up just a little bit, I'm going to put some olive oil. That's it. The filling could not be any easier than that. Now we're just going to wait for the dough to rest, and then we're going to put it all together. Okay, so lightly flour your work surface and roll out each ball of dough to about 9 or 10 inches in diameter, as thin as you can get it. That way they cook evenly and they're just going to be nice and light. Then you just want to lay them out. Do not stack them on top of each other, otherwise they will stick together. Although some of my viewers have said that their family members or they themselves roll them out and then sprinkle some cornstarch, also known as corn flour, in between the layers. I didn't try it. I just laid them out in front of me over the counter, and that works just as well. Now I'm going to divide the filling into 10 portions. I'm going to put it in the center of each one of these little pitas. And then you want to make sure that you have preferably a non-stick skillet or a cast iron skillet heating over medium heat. Medium low is even better, so that way everything cooks evenly. And then I have a little bit of salted butter here on the side. I'm just going to put a little tiny piece, like a little slice, on top of the filling. It's going to flavor it, and it's also going to moisten it a little bit as it cooks. Then you should have a little ramekin of water or a little cup of water ready, and just brush the border so that way when we wrap it all up, it'll stick together just a little bit. And then you're just going to cover the filling with all of the edges. When you get to the center part, put a little bit more water. And you want to leave it a little bit loose so that filling spreads. Just like that, you have a little package. And as you're covering, you could just spread the filling by pressing it down a little bit. I'm going to keep doing this until all of them are filled. Okay, so then you want to put a good amount of butter, because these are going to cook in the butter. There's no butter in the dough. There's just a tiny bit of olive oil into the frying pan. And I'm going to increase the heat just a little bit. You want this to be over medium, not medium high, otherwise you'll burn them and then they'll be doughy on the inside. And of course you can do this with olive oil if you prefer. I just love the flavor of butter, so I'm going to use butter. And I'm going to put as many as fit in my pan, so that's about 3 comfortably. And I'm going to cook them about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, or until they're golden all around, nice and golden and crisp. So Layla came in for the taste test because she loves anything cheese filled, right Layla?
Yep.
Okay, so it took about 4 to 5 minutes total on each side, and then they were done. These are best served nice and warm, but you can make them ahead of time. And if you have any leftovers, you can toast them in a toaster oven or in an air fryer, and try to fry them in butter because they're going to have maximum flavor. Time for the taste test. If there's nothing savory in them, I like to drizzle lots of Greek honey on top. We have some honey for sale in our shop, and it comes from Knead. It's my Theo Dimitri's, my Uncle Dimitri's honey from his own beehives. Can I taste first, or do you want to go first?
You could go first.
Oops. Wait. The cream cheese makes it so creamy. The feta gives it that little bite of, that tanginess that feta always has. I can put feta on pretty much even on chocolate cake, as you guys already know, because you have commented under the videos so many times, where's the feta in almost every dessert. This is so delicious, you guys. Tastes like a tiropita, which is a Greek cheese pie, which is basically what this is, except it's made in a frying pan. So if you don't have an oven, you could just do it this way. I hope you guys give this a try. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. The exact measurements are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Check it out so that we could print it out. And if you want to buy some honey or some pretty aprons, you can check those out in the shop. And if you want to learn how to make the spanakopita, so you can use that spinach filling in these little pan-fried pies, click over here and I'll see you right over there. Yes, us.
Yes,